Connectives, avoiding common errors. In this lesson, you will learn how to avoid some common errors that learners of English may make when using connectives in writing. Before we begin, it is important that you know you will see many bad examples in this video. When it's a bad example, you'll see this face. However, there will also be some corrections, some good examples, and those will be accompanied by this face. So let's get started. Reminder number 1. A preposition must be followed by a noun. Let's take a look at this example. Can you find the preposition? That's right, it's because of. But what comes after it? She tried so hard. This is not a noun. This is a clause. So what we need to do to fix this problem is change this clause into a noun phrase. Although there may be more than one way to do this, here's one idea. Because of her effort, Lisa finally learned how to dance. Now we've got a good sentence because of is followed by a noun phrase. Reminder number 2. Do not confuse transitions with prepositions. This is an easy mistake to make because some transitions and prepositions look a lot alike, and they also may communicate the same ideas. However, it's important to remember that grammatically they are different. So let's look at this example. Jake is an awesome swimmer. Emily, in contrast to, is a terrible swimmer. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. We've got a problem here. Can you find a preposition that's a connective? In contrast to. That's right, this is a preposition, which you just learned must be followed by a noun, which you can see is not the case here. But there's a really easy way to fix this problem. We can actually just make this preposition a transition by removing to. Now we have a good sentence. Jake is an awesome swimmer. Emily, in contrast, is a terrible swimmer. Moving on to reminder number 3. Avoid fragments, which are incomplete sentences. Take a look at this example. The first sentence, there are many ways to enjoy the cold winter weather, is a good complete sentence because it has a subject and a verb. However, for example, making a fire is not a complete sentence and therefore cannot stand alone. We call this a fragment, which is not proper for writing. So, how can we make this a complete sentence? Again, there are many ways, but here's one way. Now, making a fire has become our subject. For example, making a fire is a good way to feel cozy. That's a complete sentence. Much better. All right, reminder number 4. It's related actually to the previous reminder. Avoid run-on sentences. Take a look at this example. We have 2 independent clauses joined by a comma and the transition however. But you know that we can only join 2 independent clauses with a coordinating conjunction. So we need to change this. We either need a coordinating conjunction or we need to make 2 sentences. Now, this is much better. That fancy coffee shop is expensive. However, the one by my house is very affordable. Great. Let's move on to reminder number 5. Perhaps you remember a comma, but it's in the wrong place. Be careful about comma placement. We can't just put commas wherever we feel like it. There's a special place for them, and you already learned about this in previous lessons. Here's a common mistake that learners may make. You see the comma here. It has been put after the preposition. However, it needs to come after the entire prepositional phrase. That is, after the preposition and its object. So where should we move it? That's right. Now that's much better. Due to the bad weather, the game was canceled. Okay, let's move on to the last reminder. One other error that learners may make is forgetting that although despite and in spite of mean the same thing and are both prepositions, in spite includes the preposition of, but despite does not. So you can see in this example, of is not necessary. Despite is simply followed by a noun. So let's go ahead and take that out. Despite the rain, we enjoyed our picnic. Much better. Okay, that's it. In this lesson, you learned how to avoid some common errors related to connectives. Now you're an expert. Thanks for listening.